What are you seeing in terms of how companies are looking to hedge or reorganize their supply chains around China and around the broader region?
I think a lot of Chinese companies have realized the importance of localizing their supply chain and to reduce the risk of the logistic and transportation disruption. With the shortened supply chain, we have seen those Chinese companies are benefiting from the closer supply chain and lower cost to help them to become more competitive in their end products going forward.
Right, but some of this localization is also being driven by geopolitical forces and trade restrictions. To the extent that China is kind of pioneering more self-reliance in the supply chains.
Actually, I think some of the companies will benefit from that. For example, the supplier who are replacing the foreign companies' competitors are getting more orders from their local customers are definitely benefiting from rising market share in China.
Markets have obviously been really exuberant and excited about this and have been on quite a run so far in the last few weeks. Do you think that that's going to be sustainable?
We do think that is sustainable. If we look at the overall activity, there is no more fear about COVID and consumers are feeling comfortable to go offline and do a lot of different consumption activities. That is quite positive to the consumer. And in industrial side, there is also a normalization of the supply chain logistics and also the very strong rebound in industrial activities.
So consumer demand-driven recovery with a nice policy boost to support it, but what are some of the kind of risks to this otherwise pretty sanguine outlook?
There is some concern on the second wave of the COVID, and the other risk is obviously from the external environment. If the global recession continues, how would that impact overall export demand for China? And also the geopolitical risk is always a risk that we need to be mindful as well.